guesses then, when he thought they were alone, he said, "There's oil under this studio, see? I'm gonna tear it to the ground, see? Sweet, sweet oil, see?"
People still talk like that?
Maybe that's just how he sounded in my head. Either way, we've got to find Kermit. He'll know what to do.
Welcome back to Follow the Money. The Muppets are back and being terrorized by an evil oil executive in their new movie. Liberal Hollywood depicting a successful businessman as evil. That's not new. Joining me now, Dan Gaynor from the Media Research Center. Dan, let's point this out. This oil Muppet, evil man that he is called Tex Richman. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's amazing how far the left will go just to stoop to manipulate your kids to convince them, give the anti-corporate message. I mean, this is a Muppet movie, for goodness sakes. The only thing green that should be up on that screen should be Kermit the Frog.
And so what's actually going on here? I mean, I'll put it out there. Is liberal Hollywood using class warfare to kind of brainwash our kids?
First of all, I want to say that I have not seen the Muppets movie, the new Muppets movie. I have not gone out there. I have better things to do and spend my time doing. However, I am going to comment on what Fox thinks about how liberals basically are brainwashing our kids with movies like the Muppets, which is funny because they say liberal Hollywood, and Hollywood directly panders to whatever's popular. So they're basically saying that liberalism is popular in the U.S. when they say that Hollywood is liberal, because Hollywood wouldn't make something if it wasn't popular and wasn't going to make them money. They're actually one of the greediest fucking places on the planet, which is ironic to be called like the liberal. Like the actors get paid millions of dollars to see a movie now costs you an arm and a fucking leg.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been doing it for decades. I mean, Hollywood, the left, the media, they hate the oil industry. They hate corporate America. And so you'll see all these movies attacking it, whether it's Cars 2, which was another kids' movie, the George Clooney movie, Syriana, There Will Be Blood, all these movies attacking the oil industry, none of them reminding people that what oil means for most people, which is fuel to light a hospital or heat your home or maybe fuel an ambulance to get you to the hospital if you need that. And they don't want to tell that story.
I'm pretty sure in that clip that you opened with, the two people and the Muppet in the back seat were in a car that was driving, and I doubt it was an electric car. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. It could have been an electric car, but I doubt it. It was probably just a regular fucking car.
Dan, is there any Occupy Wall Street Muppets?
There should be. I mean, this is what they're teaching our kids. You wonder why we've got a bunch of Occupy Wall Street people walking around all around the country. They've been indoctrinated literally for years by this kind of stuff, whether it was Captain Planet or Nickelodeon's Big Green Help or The Day After Tomorrow, the Al Gore influenced movie. All of that is what they're teaching, is that corporations are bad, oil industry is bad. And ultimately, what they're telling our kids is what they told you in the movie The Matrix.
Right.
That mankind is a virus on poor old Mother Earth.
Hey, aren't you guys forgetting that movie Wall Street? I mean, ironically enough, you're forgetting that one. No, it's kind of funny that all these movies, like Day After Tomorrow, which was basically just a overproduced, drama with bad weather. I didn't see that as a huge global warming thing. I mean, I know it was part of the storyline, but it obviously wouldn't just happen like that. It was like a attempt at an action flick with the way that the weather affected them. It wasn't realistic in any fucking way, and we all know that. I know that's not how fucking global warming works.
All right, Dan, I'm sorry, we ran out of time. I'd love to bring the story up again, but I remember when I was a little kid, we were poor, we were dead broke, in fact, and my parents would see someone wealthy driving by and be like, "See that guy? He started a business. He worked hard. You can be like that someday." Not pointing the finger at Tex Richman and saying he's a bad guy.
So what you're saying is that your dad didn't work hard. Because your dad apparently had you, and possibly you had brothers and sisters, multiple kids, and you guys were just flat broke, as you said. And but your dad obviously just didn't work hard. That's how it is. You see, poor people just don't work hard enough. That's the problem. If you don't have a lot of money, it's because you're fucking lazy or you just don't work hard enough. That's your fucking issue. Whereas all these rich people, yeah, they really came to it through hard work. That's how most of these rich-ass people the people who inherit all the money from their parents who did the hard work, yeah, they worked real hard to inherit that money. The actors and actresses that make millions, you know, and here I am bashing liberal Hollywood, and I'm a liberal. Who would have fucking thunk it? What you want is for the poor to look up to them and be like, if I work hard, I'll be rich too someday. No, you won't. You'll just bust your ass for chump change like every fucking one else. And the rich love it because they can't be rich without you busting your ass for them. It's a sick fucking joke, and to tell people like, you know, all you gotta do is work hard, and you shouldn't hate rich people that fucking like they've got their boot on your fucking neck. You should hope that someday you'll get to put your boot on someone else's neck.
Dan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Eric.
All right, Carolyn Heldman is back along with one of my fantastic co-hosts on The Five, Andrea Tantaros. By the way, Andrea, the only good number on Sesame Street is clearly 5.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Well, it is. It's brainwashing in the most obvious form, right? I just wish liberals could leave little kids alone. Why does there have to be some kind of political message? I thought Sesame Street was supposed to be sharing and being nice to people.
Call me crazy, but to me, I guess it looks like the problem is that you consider sharing and being nice to other people to be a political ideology. You consider that to be liberal. It's sharing that you have such a big problem with, remember? Fucking moron.
But over the years, they've gotten more liberal. I mean, just a couple months ago, we talked about this on The Five. Remember they had the hungry Muppet, the starving Muppet? Well, you look out there, we've got Medicaid. There's a record number of people on food stamps. We have S-chip. We have WIC. There's all these programs out there to take care of hungry kids. Why would that Muppet be starving?
How do you like that line of reasoning right there? Like, we have record number of people on food stamps. You know, and there's all these programs to deal with all these hungry kids because there's so fucking many hungry kids. So why would those kids be hungry? There's all those programs. Not there's all those programs because there are so many fucking hungry kids. So many starving children in our own country. That's not the reason all those programs are out there. You know, the more programs you put, the more kids just happen to be starving and can take it. Are you fucking retarded? And then to inform children that there are other kids that might not have a fridge full of food or a pantry full of fucking cookies and crackers. There might be kids that are hungry out in the world, and then it is important to take care of them. You see, in order to get these kids to support these programs where we feed hungry children, they have to know that there are fucking hungry children out there. In order to do that, you put it on kids programming. They didn't. It's crazy that simply informing the world or the children of the world of what is actually happening in the world, they hate that. They call that liberal brainwashing because they want them to grow up, I guess, not knowing that there are starving children. That we'll just put that on the back burner and let them forget about it. And someday they'll just refuse to admit that there are any hungry kids in America at all. Fox rationale, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, Dr. Heldman, maybe they should have the hungry Muppets, the food stamp Muppets, and have the evil person being the Obama administration or Obama. After all, under Obama, food stamp usage has gone up 40%.
Well, Eric, I'm going to say it's pretty Orwellian to blame that on President Obama, considering that he's in support of programs to help people who are suffering. And yes, we have seen poverty rates go up despite these programs.
Doc, I said under Obama, the economy has gotten so bad that 40% more people, Americans, have had to use food stamps than prior to Obama.
Right. Right, and I'm bringing up that you seem to be insinuating or blaming President Obama for that when Wall Street and the liquidity crisis caused our economic recession. And I think it's a shame, you call it brainwashing, but I call this education. It's a shame they couldn't have put up, a financial services sector tycoon who caused this problem in the first place. But I guess, you'll settle for oil tycoons who are experiencing historic profits and killed 11 people with Deepwater Horizon.
Hold on.
I would just like to point out that on this Fair and Balanced newscast, the host thinks it's liberal Hollywood brainwashing our kids. His first speaker agreed with him wholeheartedly. His second speaker agreed with him wholeheartedly. And then this blonde lady comes on and she disagrees with him. She is obviously out of the studio. 2 times she got interrupted in that short period. It's really kind of sick that the way that they call it fair and balanced at all. I know this is Fox Business and not Fox News, but the name of the fucking show is Follow the Money. And then they're talking about liberals brainwashing kids. It's pretty obvious where Fox News is coming from.
Why do the kids have to be exposed to this?
I know, because liberals they don't care. They want to get them at the youngest age. Remember, we've heard this before. You've got to indoctrinate the children at a young age. How about if you want to make it fair, Professor? If you want to make it fair, why not have a Barney Frank Muppet? Although Barney Frank looks like a Muppet anyway, so that wouldn't even be much of a stretch.
Zing! And then they could make a John Boehner Muppet because they have plenty of extra orange material. Zing!
Look, I think green energy, great. We should have an all-of-the-above message. That would be fair if they wanted to do that. But whatever happened to be, why, Eric? Tell me. Why being rich is such a bad thing? Why being successful is such a bad thing? Tex Richmond, the Muppet's name is, that's the American dream, is to work hard and be successful. That would be a better story to teach our kids.
Like I've said, I have not seen this movie yet, but I saw the clip that you played in the beginning, and it's obvious that they were worried because they found oil underneath the Muppet studio, and they were talking about tearing down the Muppet studio to get to the oil, which would make all of the Muppets unemployed. Do you understand the point there? It's not that being rich is bad, it's that someone was going to try and add to their wealth. They were already wealthy, but they wanted to add to the wealth by fucking over everyone that worked in that studio. You see the point? It's not saying that being rich is bad. It's saying you've got some money, now stop fucking stomping on little people to get even more rich. You know, why are you so fucking greedy? Why are you not happy with what you have? I happen to be one of those people that I'm not obsessed with money or wealth. I'm very happy with the things I have. I work hard just to pay my fucking bills and take care of my fucking family. I'm not obsessed with becoming rich. That is not my American dream. My American dream is simply to not be fucked over by those that are so greedy that they can't stand not to have every last dollar that's in your fucking pocket.
And the reality is, there is, as you know better than anybody, no competitive source on the market besides crude at this point.
All right,
there isn't.
Go ahead, Doc. Not the crude oil combo. I want to know why rich has to be evil. Why is rich bad all of a sudden in today's society, and why are we teaching that to our kids? Is being profitable and successful bad?
It's not the profit and the success, it's the way in which you get there. And when Deepwater Horizon kills 11 people, and you have BP making now historic profits, and you see a sector that is price gouging during an economic recession, I think it is perfectly fine to educate children and say that's pretty villainous.
Why is drilling for oil a criminal thing? Why is that such a bad thing, drilling natural resources?
No one's claiming that's criminal. What I'm claiming is criminal is when you are in an economic recession and you have to make a decision between paying over $4 at the pump.
But these kids aren't making these decisions, Professor. These are children. So why not wait till they get older and teach them important lessons like working hard instead of coveting what other people have?
What the fuck is she even saying? You work hard instead of coveting what other people have. I thought the whole point was to work hard because you coveted what they have and you want those things. That's the story the guy told earlier. My dad, we were dirt broke, and you saw someone drive by in a nice car, and you were like, if you work hard, you could be just like, that's coveting. You can get that car. You can be like, that's fucking coveting. That's exactly what it is. And it goes against one of your goddamn 10 commandments, because I know you're all a bunch of right-wing Christian fucks, too. Bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Marketers have access to children. In fact, McDonald's has about 7 different ways in which children pressure their parents. If marketers have access to our children, why shouldn't we be telling them about the truth of the corporation?
Because in one hand you're talking about a Happy Meal with a toy, and the other hand you're talking about a huge ideological sea change in what we're teaching our kids. Class warfare. We're teaching our kids class warfare. Where are we? Communist China?
And there you have it. Teach kids that there are greedy ass people in the fucking world, that greed exists, and all of a sudden we're in communist fucking China. This is crazy. You're a commie. I mean, it's fucking retarded.
The 7 deadly sins is what we're teaching them. What about sloth? What about lust? What about all those other things? Sloth. It's not just greed.
That's a character in one of those other movies, isn't it?
That's a great idea. Have kids sit on their asses and watch TV to learn that being lazy is bad. Fucking idiots. Not all poor people are lazy. Not all rich people worked hard. That's the fucking point. Coctopus out.